what the 13 postures introduced are the 8 basic moves. Notice that they're all in the third section, so they're literally listed in the third section of the 13 postures. Yank, twist the joint, elbow strike, shoulder strike, ward off, roll back, push, and press. That's the grammar that we're going to be using for everything. Every single move that we describe is actually going to be composed of a combination of these 8 moves. So again, if you remember, grasp the sparrow's tail, we started here, and it's ward off, roll back, push, press. Those 4 put together in that particular combination creates grasp the sparrow's tail. So we're going to all constantly be doing that. There'll be 2 sets of names essentially. There will be one of the 8 moves, the core moves that we have, the 8 gates as it's called, combined together create a named move. So we have brush knee, for example. Right? It's called brush knee twist step is the full name, which is this, right? The brush knee twist step is roll back, ward off, push. So roll back, ward off, and push in those different directions creates brush knee. Same thing with play the pipa is the name. So again, playing the pipa is the Chinese guitar. That's the name of it because it reminds you your hands are going to end up like this, like as if you're playing Chinese guitar. But playing the pipa is composed of roll back, yank, push. Right? We're just changing the directions in which those are expressed and the order, and that creates a named move, which is why you have the 8 main moves and the 5 directions, because it's the combinations of directions and those moves that create all of the moves that we're going to do, right? And knowing that allows you to bring your intent to what you're doing. This is why it becomes a moving meditation, because it's too easy. If you don't have that knowledge, it's very easy to just move the hands through the air and you're thinking about what you're going to have for lunch the next time. But if you're thinking about the direction that you're doing, the intent that you're doing this move with, your mind and your breath are going to be in sync, and that puts you present in the moment. And simply being present in the moment while breathing and your mind is on the body, that's a moving meditation. It's that simple. So even if you're not interested in the martial aspect of it, you want to be involved and engaged in that knowledge, because that knowledge is what will bring your mind to be focused. So in a way, it's tricking you into meditating. It's tricking you into doing this correctly, because if you're thinking about, okay, roll back and doing this correctly, and you're deflecting a punch and then sitting back and really thinking, okay, now I'm opening hands, and your mind is working, your mind is present in the moment, it's moving your body, you're meditating. Okay, so that's the real reason why you want to pay attention to all of this, even if you're not interested in the martial aspect of it. But this is the 13 postures. That's the introduction to essentially, again, the grammar that we're going to be using when looking at everything else in the form, because this is just the introduction to the form. Right? This is just the basic rules that we will be following. So remember, speaking of rules, the diagonal across the body, nice and vertical, and the basic posture that we had before, right? So the basic posture is here, which is standing meditation. Hips are tucked, back is rounded, everything is nice and relaxed. We're using that basic posture, except that we're standing with the rear foot to the diagonal, front foot pointing in the direction of our intent, so that when my arms are up, right, we're creating a slightly angled, it's like we're creating a wedge where my hands are up like so. So the right hand's above the right foot. Okay, but the rear, 70% of the weight is on the rear leg, 30% on the front. My rear leg is what I'm sitting on. Foot, knee, hip are pointing in the same direction. And from here, I can sit down and turn, right, the hip. By turning the hip, I turn all of the body. So those are the basic rules that we'll see throughout the form